in fields surrounded by golden broom. Bromfield was founded between the confluence of the two rivers, the Team and the Onny. There has been people here since prehistory, as the nearby necropolis attests to. So join us as we investigate the Church of St Mary's in Bromfield, Shropshire. So welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we are in South Shropshire once again. We're about a mile north of Ludlow, in deep South Shropshire. And we are in the village of Bromfield, and we're going to be investigating, you can see it just over my shoulder, the Church of St Mary's here in Bromfield, Shropshire, South Shropshire. So we're going to find out all about it as we make our visit today. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. So Bromfield Church is an absolutely picturesque, beautiful church here in South Shropshire, but it has extremely historic origins. What with a Saxon burial ground being in this vicinity, and also a prehistoric necropolis. But the church here dates back to Anglo-Saxon times. It was granted liberties by Edward the Confessor in 1060. This gave the church royal status, royal free status, and it was also installed with 12 canons, making it a collegiate Saxon church in the years preceding the Norman conquest. It's getting quite windy here today, but just at the side of the church you've got this interesting ladder, you can see it, but even more interestingly you've got this sort of spiral staircase, semi-spiral staircase. I wonder if it leads down to the crypt, because it is open. Let's have a look. Wow. Yeah, it's dark in here. Look at this mega old iron boiler. It's not from the Iron Age though, don't worry. And while this place isn't a crypt, it's still relics of a bygone age, the age of coal, lying forgotten and almost buried underground or in a crypt of the age of coal, and now forgotten. And obviously it's the expense of knocking all this down or changing it is too much, or it's too much expense even to take the boiler away. Yeah, that's enough of our underground explorations today. Let's go and have a look at the actual main church inside. Along the back of the church, I did say we were going to go inside. There's this interesting courtyard, and I think that is where the coal was possibly left for the boiler back in the day. Yeah, and you got this absolutely big grove of yew trees at the very back of the church. That would be the eastern side. Interesting to know it's here though. This has been a priest's cedille in its time. Let's see if it opens. Yeah, like all the doors in this church, they do all open. But not that one. Yeah, in 1540, the Priory was dissolved during the Reformation, during the reign of King Henry VIII. But one Mr. Charles Fox bought the Priory and turned it into his house, and there is a portion of it left here on the south side of the church. This was an Elizabethan residence back in its heyday. The church was restored in 1648, 100 years after the dissolution of the monasteries. And I suppose that was in a very puritanical time. It was still in the reign of Oliver Cromwell. You know, no Christmases, extremely puritanical. But then afterwards, obviously, Charles II came to the throne, and the sort of, if you like, happy times, less puritanical returned, and this was already a church by then. Yeah, there's 3 steps down. Yeah, during the early 12th century, the canons were gradually replaced with monks. And a Benedictine priory cell was established in 1155. And this was subject to St. Peter's Abbey in Gloucester. Yeah, this huge arch in the chancel is Norman, and it has been incorporated into the later works here. And there is remains of another Norman arch in the south wall, the transept to the chancel. Absolutely gorgeous timber roof work and ceiling. Some of the timber work here dates from 1577. That would be the days of Mr. Charles Fox. It is said that this roof painting is the most notable part of the interior of St Mary's Church. Holy Trinity? I think so. Yeah, this roof painting is the work of Thomas Francis, 1672, and he was from Cheshire. Yeah, with the streamers, the Holy Trinity, and other themes, this artwork was very much of its age, which was the age of Charles II and the folk religion of that time. Yeah, this royal coat of arms on the south wall of the nave is said to be the largest of its type in the country. Obviously it's of Charles II once again. Tripart just behind me was designed by Hodgson Fowler, who restored the church. Yeah, it was painted by one Buckridge Floyd of nearby Richard's Castle, just over the border into Herefordshire. Favourite birds there. Not people say, oh, eagles are my favourite birds, but crows are definitely mine. Picture was of Henry Hill Hickman, and he was an innovator in anaesthetic. So yeah, he's memorialised in this church. I bet he had some wild parties. Yeah, the stained glass here in St Mary's Church, it may look familiar because it's made by Kemp, the makers of stained glass, they've got stained glass, who had stained glass in churches all over the country. If you visit a lot of churches, you will come across these sort of works, but most recently we came across these at the village of Middleton in Cherbury when we were investigating the legends of Mitchell's Fold. They did them in the Holy Trinity Church there. Just on the way in the sort of tower. Interesting door. We're just going to go and have a closer look at the gatehouse of the Priory, or the former Priory. Yeah, look at them. With some real timber gates. And really old. I've seen some old gates recently. Really medieval style. And you got the wrought iron work. Don't know how long that's been there, but I bet it's a long time. And the bolts. And seeing all this does emphasise how important agricultural work is here it is at Bromfield, with many inhabitants of the village depending upon their livelihoods on the local estate. Must be an old lawnmower. The grass definitely needs it here, but I think that lawnmower, it's gone now, don't worry about it. It really is lovely to see a Union flag flying high and proud on top of the church tower here at Bromfield. Yeah, we're just coming round to the front of the gatehouse. There's just something round here I just wanted to talk to you about. Yeah, so this meadow is known as the Crawl Meadow, and there's a very interesting story behind this. Some interesting folklore. Is it real? Let's find out. The story tells of a young lady, well, a young maiden, who had met the love of her life, a gallant knight. But unfortunately, he was a knight not of means, and her father said if the girl married him, she would not get a portion or a big portion of his estate. She would get the smallest portion. And in fact, he told her, if you persist in marrying this young man, you may do it, but the only land you will be left is what you can crawl over in your hands and knees in one night. Well, the young lady returned to her father the next morning and said she was covered in muck, and she says, that she had managed in the night to crawl over a tract of land that she felt was sufficient for her to set up her life. The father was actually impressed. He respected what she'd done, the effort she'd put in the night, crawling across this very tract of land, so it says, and he awarded her more in her inheritance. But then again, it is thought that this piece of folklore is just made up, although I did read it in a reputable folklore book, Folklore Shropshire. So, you know, make your own mind up about this story. I thought I had to tell it you though. So thank you for joining me today on Third Rate Content. Our journey to Bromfield in South Shropshire and our journey round the beautiful church here, St Mary's. We're just finishing off at the gatehouse here of the Priory, what was once the former Priory. So thanks for joining me. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Third Rate Content signing out. Bye bye.